a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good. We don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming.
Well, Coach, we've had a driving rainstorm make its way through the plains, and it's definitely going to be a factor here this afternoon at Broncos Stadium at Mile High in Denver. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with Matthew Stafford and the Detroit Lions.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Set! Blue 60! Reverse.
C.J. Anderson with it. Of course, a big part of the Rams' run to the Super Bowl last year. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
2 yards on the pickup.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Stafford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. A big play there for Detroit. 55 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things. Now a run with Anderson, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Following the penalty, Anderson. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. So that run gets them about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, 50. Watch the ship. Check 3. Check 3. Watch safety 3. Watch safety 3.
So they'll try again with Anderson. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the...
And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. C.J. Anderson, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Ready, set.
Lock and the Broncos going to come up first and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Check. Chopper, chopper. 36. Check three. Get it.
Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Well, we talked about Phillip Lindsay so much last year, but it bears repeating. Undrafted in 2018. The Broncos would sign him in May, and that was a good decision. He would have a 1,000-yard season, 9 touchdowns en route to a Pro Bowl appearance. So from undrafted to playing in the Pro Bowl in 10 months, that's pretty clean living for Phillip Lindsay. Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. On second down, a run with Lindsay. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Come on, set. 8, read. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go. Yes. We got double up. Ready?
They'll try and run for it with Lindsay. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down. Another good carry there for the NFL's second leading rusher, and we've talked on air, off air about his MVP candidacy. Make a case for him.
But I'm just going to tell you point blank, it doesn't matter whether he's first or second or even third in the league in rushing yardage. That's not the main deal. It's how he gets those yards and the impact he has on his ball club.
Here's Locke. Over the middle, he's got Deshaun Hamilton. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
First and 10 at the 39.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Alert flare. Recon, 132 fighter. Now.
Lock now on first down. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on his first drive. Instead, second down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, and we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. On second down, it's Lindsay. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards there and a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Watch the run. 49. Check 49. Check 49.
first down, right back to Lindsey. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
This is Royce Freeman, second-year man from Oregon. And a nice pickup there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line. They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to...
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Royce Freeman, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. They start the drive with Anderson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, a one-point game, 7-6. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Stafford. Amendola catching it left side. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
A gain of 21 yards. First down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
better against man.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
And the Lions.
Blue 60. Check, 27. 21. Check 37. Check 37. Jim. Big 20. March 47.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Bradley Chubb in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Here's Stafford. Throw left side, taken in by Galladay. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down.
First down, Lions.
Set. 280. Mike 51. All day.
First down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he breaks through another tackle. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory.
He's checking.
On 2nd down, Anderson. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. C.J. Anderson with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
At their own 25-yard line.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
Get in the right room.
The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Here we go. Here we go. 6-6. Pull it high. Check it.
They'll run the toss. It's Lindsey. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Go now. And 2 stop. Rush in. Rush in.
It's a gain of 4.
5.
On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. And he will not get there as they stop him short right around the 34-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. 2nd-year punter Colby Wadman out there now for the Broncos. Back deep, Danny Amendola. This is taken around the 12. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Lions will take over. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head.
C.J. Anderson. He's at the 40. Past the 20. 10. 5. Touchdown, Detroit. C.J. Anderson on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. Prater on to add the extra point. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? On 3rd down, Lindsey. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. It's a give to Freeman running right. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, they really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, Mike 51, Mike 51.
Throwing his lock on 3rd down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he's going to take this one down to the 25. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Back to throw. Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bradley Chubb, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Now it's Stafford. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tavon Wilson up to make the tackle.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Down, 50, plant. No gain on this defense, no gain. Check. Check it backer, check it backer. Protein spill. Ready.
On 3rd down, Lindsey. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. The Broncos send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one.
Get ready. At their own 15-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Stafford now to throw. And he's got Amendola on the connection. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
First down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Here we go, D. Get off the field. Mike's 43.
To throw is Stafford. Keeps himself upright. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Well, they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's under pressure again, and down he goes again. Von Miller in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the gun, here's Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Another run by Lindsey. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
The tackle by Jelani Tabar. A 2-yard pickup makes it 3rd and 8.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. They'll run. It's Lindsey. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Lock going to go on 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position.
Ready. 180. It's going to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
On 1st down, Anderson. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Stafford. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The sack by Todd Davis.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Come on, set. 18, Gator. Cut. Watch the twist, watch the twist.
On 3rd down, Lindsey. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down.
But sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big third down conversion. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Lindsey on the toss left. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Freeman. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Ready? 70, Indy. Here we go. Right. He's done.
Now Locke on the bootleg. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Hey, Echo. Ready?
Locke to throw for it on 4th. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And some room to maneuver. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will score. Touchdown, Lions. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run here with Lindsey. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. On 2nd down, here's Locke. Completes it to Fant on the right side. Fant, the first-round pick out of Iowa, taken 20th overall, second tight end taken in the draft. Amazingly, the second Iowa tight end taken in the draft, his teammate T.J. Hawkinson, 8th overall. He was selected by the Lions, but Noah Fant really wowed everyone in Indianapolis at the Combine and now trying to parlay that into an impressive NFL career. And able to find Deshaun Hamilton complete. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. From midfield, here's Locke. Screen pass to Lindsey. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
3rd and short, it's Booker. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Ready up. Let's go now. 18 Gator. I'm coming after you. I'm hitting.
They'll run on first down. It's Lindsey. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. They'll keep it on the ground. Lindsey. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the first quarter, but second, third, and fourth quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, this felt a lot.